said I had to use cream or use anything to lighten my skin. I just got influenced by the media, honestly. Yeah, I have a similar experience. My mom, she really embraced my hair, told me it was beautiful, and encouraged me to grow it. Dope. But I just remember watching like TV, Disney Channel, and all of these things. Salute to his OG, asking, man. Why can't my hair look like that? Why can't it be straight? To his mom, so Dukes. For me, it's the same. I saw more through the media, but I was still getting that support from my family that that encouraged her.
La familia. That's the way that life is supposed to be. In your life, especially as a young child, these like formative years, you are gonna see so much that is a complete sent away from everything that you're taught in terms of your family's value structure and what is taught to be important to you from your mom and dad. There's going to be so much to influence you in the opposite direction. And what mom and dad do is go, yeah, I know you saw a lot of kids with straight hair on the TV, but guess what? You have curly hair. And that's still that strength. And if you want to be on TV one day, you can be on TV too with your curly hair. And even if you want proof, here, change the channel. Here's a character with curly hair, which did exist at the time this young man was growing up, by the way. It wasn't not every single character on Disney Channel. Even if you want proof, here, change the channel. Here's a character with curly hair, which did exist at the time this young man was growing up, by the way. It wasn't not every single character on even if you want proof, here, change the channel. Here's a character with curly hair, which did exist at the time this young man was growing up, by the way. It wasn't not every single character on Disney Channel had straight hair. And I say that as somebody who is probably close in proximity to age and was growing up watching Disney Channel as well. So that's what happens in life. In life, you're going to be exposed to so many different things that are completely opposite of what you're taught or what you've been known to value. And then you just have to look at that and go, oh yeah, okay. And then recenter yourself. Opposite of what was instilled in your mind as well. So that's implanted, embedded. You're going to be exposed to so many different things that are completely opposite of what you're taught or what you've been known to value. And then you just have to look at that and go, oh yeah, okay. And then recenter yourself. Really that easy. And if you go around, like when I went around in school, some kids called me like Oreo. You're mixed, you're black and white. Oreo, haha, so funny. Some thought it was endearing, some thought it was cute. You go, okay. And if you go around, like when I went around in school, some kids called me like Oreo. You're mixed, you're black and white. Oreo, haha, so funny. Some thought it was endearing, some thought it was cute. And you go, okay, yeah, that's funny. Black and white, Oreo cookie, black and white. And then you go on about your day. You want to sit here and be like, when I was a kid, kids called me an Oreo when I was 5 years old, and I've never lived it down. It's this colorist experience that I went through. No, I'm about my business. Salute,
yeah, it's pretty obvious. I think, what's permeating for me is like information and accessibility to that. I grew up in the Bronx, so like, people are around people that look like them for almost their whole lives, and so shout out to the other places too. Some people are from New York, some people are from AZ, Arizona. Shout out to those places. Like information and accessibility to that. I grew up in the Bronx, so like, people are around people that look like them for Bronx is in New York. Yeah. She's not the only one from New York. There's at least two other people in this Vice debate that are from New York. Like information and the one with the skin bleaching company is from Arizona. Shout out to Arizona. People are around people that look like them for almost their whole life. It's like information and accessibility to that. 5 years old and I've never lived it down. It's this colorist experience that I went through. No, I'm about my business. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. I think, what's permeating for me is like information and accessibility to that. I grew up in the Bronx, so like, people are around people that look like them for almost their whole lives, and so they don't. It's like so embedded that way. It's so embedded. Like they stay in the projects forever. And I managed to leave. Like I went out of the hood to get an education, and I already didn't look like them because of my fair skin. I'll go back, and I
I've been having these conversations. It's kind of like, so
she did not specify, but I think tertiary education,
I already didn't look like them because
education.
of my fair skin. I'll go back, and I've been having these conversations. It's kind of like esoteric, and and I already didn't look like them because of my fair skin. I'll go back and to leave, like I went out of the hood to get an education, and and I already didn't look like them because of my fair skin. I'll go back, and I've been having these conversations. It's kind of like esoteric seeming conversations that people that I grew up with have never had before.
I think that's interesting. I'm sorry, I gotta be the odd man out again, I guess. What I'm hearing is that because you had a different experience, you think that the people who stayed home, because people just stay home, they don't leave their hometowns. You think that they've been held back because of their race?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I didn't quite understand what she said there, other than that she went out and left the house, and then when she came back, she was having discussions that weren't landing. I feel like they edited out what she was really talking about there. At all? No, that's not what I said. Racial experience will change depending on where you're located, I think, is all I'm saying. And so people might not have as much of an awareness of how they are different from others if they're in a homogeneous environment. So it isn't until they experience something different and are in an environment of diversity and so people might not have as much of an awareness of how they are different from others if they're in a homogeneous environment. So it isn't until they experience something different and so people might not have as much of an awareness of how they are different from others if they're in a homogeneous environment. So it isn't until they experience something different and are in an environment of diversity and a different experience that they see, oh wait, maybe I am of marginalized experience. And then they bring that back and they can try and pretend like they never saw that, but and try and integrate back into their home life, but that's impossible. You can't unsee it. Okay. I mean, I get what she's saying there. I don't know if there's much to.
She's saying when I left my homogenous hometown and went out into the world, then I learned that my experience was oppressed in some way. And
yeah,
when I brought that back, people didn't understand that.
Yeah, she's saying like a lot of these people are growing up in the hood or whatever, and they're surrounded by like blackness or
the same
I think
people.
She said she's Puerto Rican,
people
so
from
they're
the
surrounded
same
by
race.
Puerto Ricans, and like they just feel like comfortable in their little space. And then when they go out into the real world
out
where
of
there's
the
actual
bubble.
diversity and there's like white people running around, then they learn how marginalized they are in comparison to other people.
Yeah, that's what she's saying. Yeah.
I mean, there's not much to say about it. It's just kind of like a subjective.
I mean, related. The only way I can relate to this is, I grew up mostly in a white town, Tulsa, Oklahoma. I mean, there's black people there too, but the neighborhoods I was in, so culturally homogenous in that way. But I kind of had a different experience because I moved overseas a few different times. I spent 3 years of my life before graduating high school in Latin America. And anyways, my only thought on this is it's really about the values that you
were instilled
as a young person about the other human beings and how to judge their worth.
Yeah.
And even though I was ignorant before I left my hometown about interacting with people from other cultures, I was taught from a very young age that people are made in the image of God and that we're all equal. And that
I'm not a Christian, but I respect his what he's saying.
Even though I was ignorant before I left my hometown about interacting with people from other cultures, I was taught from a very young age that people are made in the image of God and that we're all equal and that we have inalienable rights. We're endowed by our Creator with that, and I was never given a sense that you're superior or privileged or anything like that.
Or above.
So when I came into contact with people from different cultures, different skin tones, whatever, I was just curious and just was able to relate to them.
Be curious, not judgmental.
I noticed a lot of different things about them, but I also
a lot of people are quick to judge, quick to. I mean, a lot of people make preconceived notions.
Skin tones, whatever.
Everything starts at home. Everything, your parents are your first teachers, man. It's the parents that talk their kids hate, man. bro. They're wild for that, bro. For teaching their seeds hate, bro. And it's sad that certain parents teach their seeds hate, and the seeds of those parents end up they continue the cycle. They continue the toxic cycle of hating people based on shade or color or whatever. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
When I came into
execrable stuff, man.
Cultures,
detestable stuff,
whatever,
man.
I was
instilling hate and hatred and odium in your seeds' minds, bro.
As fellow human beings, and I noticed a lot of different things about them, but I also
hate is a disease, bro. It really is. It really is.
And how people, kids in other countries go through the same things I do, and yet we're in a different
you gotta break the cycle, gotta break the mold, man. Like people who don't have kids,
I noticed a lot of different things about them.
The people that do want to have kids have to break the cycle. Have to.
When I came into contact with people from different cultures, different skin tones, whatever, I was just curious and just was able to relate to them as fellow human beings. And
salute.
I noticed a lot of different things about them, but I also was fascinated by how
the similarities,
and how
commonalities.
Kids in other countries go through the same things I do, and yet we're in a different setting, and their culture
focusing more on the similarities.
Look like, and it was just a fascinating process. And anyways, I think what she's talking about is going out into the world and not just experiencing other cultures doesn't give you the mentality of oppression. Experiencing
of
scarcity mindset is what gives you that
scarcity
mindset.
mindset.
You can bring that back to an otherwise racially neutral environment, and if people don't buy that story because it doesn't resonate with them.
Right, 100%. Like it's like going out and then being told like, oh, this is way worse than you think it is, and like here's what you're about to go through, and then you're like, what are you talking about? Like I just got here, and then you're just inundated with this idea.
That's the fire word, inundated,
flooded. Community that you are lesser than, and that you are going to exist within this hierarchy that you were not privy to before entering the space. So yeah, I mean, it was a weird statement. Yeah, and when you talk about like being in Brazil and like all the kids wanting to touch you and talking about like there's that little white kid over there and all this stuff, like happens everywhere. People are just like curious, and people will always recognize things that are different than who they are, especially if they're growing up in homogenous environments and stepping outside of them. That's something you need to fortify yourself for, in your mind for, and you need to be able to deal with rather than like trying to change the way that people naturally are.
Over emotionality stuff.
I thought of that because my mind goes back to
over emotional
about,
stuff.
Reverse colorism doesn't exist. And I'm sitting here thinking like, when I went to Brazil, the kids, it's a mixed bag. It's nuanced. Like on one hand, the girls showed interest in me because I was a different color, so you could call that privilege. But then the boys bullied me because they didn't like that I was getting the attention. I was the last one picked on soccer teams because they knew the white kid can't play soccer. So was that oppression based on my skin color? But that experience is invalidated because again, it's not the right place on the hierarchy. So that's not actually colorism according to these people. But if it's not, then we need to work for that because it's something and it's on the basis of skin color. But at the end of the day, I don't care. It's just part of human experience, and I understand that on a very basic level, people treat people differently. That are strange or different. It's just a human thing that we have these tendencies to prefer in people or people like us or whatever, or be fascinated or scared.
It is
what it is.
Of
people that don't look like us, and that's just something we have to deal with as young people.
Accept.
Decide how we're going to deal with that.
Yep.
Navigate that as ourselves, and not let it diminish our sense of self-worth as a human being. Not
Facts. Charge it to the game.
World. That's where this conversation should live. But instead, I feel like we're just going in circles around, this insistence that colorism is holding.
Don't beg don't beg people to change their minds or to stop viewing you as inferior and all that. Don't beg or anything like that. Charge it to the game, bro. Surround yourself with people that are high vibrational, man, that are solid, bro. Choose people who choose you. You know what I'm saying? Go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated.
This insistence that colorism is holding people of color back, and that's all we can talk about.
Right. I know that people.
Society and toward the world. That's where this conversation should live. But instead, I feel like we're just going in if it's not, then we need a word for that because it's something and it's on the basis of skin color. But at the end of the day, I don't care. It's just part of human experience, and I understand that on a very basic level, people treat people differently that are strange or different. It's just a human thing that we have these tendencies to prefer in-group people or people like us or whatever, or to be fascinated or scared or whatever of people that don't look like us.
People who view you as inferior, you should not associate with.
Navigate that as ourselves and not let it diminish our sense of self-worth as a human being, not let us become bitter towards society and toward the world.
Don't let that cause you to turn into a scumbag.
Just going in circles around,
Word.
This insistence
This
that
man speaking facts.
colorism is
This man is speaking facts.
color back, and that's all we can talk about.
Right. I know, like, people hate when people say things like, but, like, really, how bad can it be? You guys are sitting on a Vice panel with your new clothes on, fully styled up, like, looking your best, talking about these issues. How bad can it be? Just how much time are we wasting going into complaints?
A lot of time.
So we've talked a lot about some of the systems that contribute to colorism, but let's talk about the media and the cultural aspect.
I notice, like, there's like an oversaturation of like lighter skinned biracial women who are sort of like meant to be
just coming from my job,
like the representatives of like blackness on TV. I also think representation definitely can't fix everything, right? But I think seeing more dark skinned women in the media, like Lupita Nyong'o, who's just like gorgeous, I was like, well, if she's beautiful, it's like, why do I think like dark skin is ugly?
Why do you think dark skin is ugly?
Why?
Why?
It's
What
crazy.
are you talking about? Lupita Nyong'o, Viola Davis, Octavia Spencer, Jennifer Hudson. There's just like, you can rattle off a list of black women who become extremely successful.
Jade Cargill, the wrestler, famous wrestler, female wrestler, biological female wrestler. You know what I mean?
So,
beautiful.
Why?
Kiera Hogan, Naomi, famous wrestlers.
Overrepresented in media now.
Beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
And I think it becomes frustrating
Scott.
when you feel like you constantly
Amala,
have to wait
not
for
Amala.
representation. Like
Queen
everyone
Amanada,
gets
famous
representation
wrestler,
before
beautiful.
you.
Dark
And even
skin.
when we are presented,
Dark
we're
skin.
presented as ghetto
You know what I
and
mean?
loud
African
and
wrestler.
Like, we're not meant to be in a relationship. Like, we always, like, stress our partner out. We're annoying. Like, we go.
Weird. What are you talking about? It's just a lot. So much of this is just like anecdotal. This is
So
how
she's
I feel.
saying
Stuff
people
like
are
that.
saying
Any
all
evidence that
dark
this is
skinned
actually
women
the
are
case. I'm
trash.
not understanding. Like, nothing's coming to mind as far
Certain
as
people are saying that, but not everybody
angry black woman
is saying
represented in
all
media.
dark skinned
Honestly, unless you're
women are
watching
trash.
DevoFuturePublisher, because that's the way that women are represented, particularly black women.
The
are
statement that
represented on
all
shows,
dark
like,
skinned
all the
women are
time.
trash is
All the time.
it's mendacious.
Complain
and
a lot.
garbage.
And
Untrue.
it just sucks. Like, the guy was saying, like, it does do something to your head. And I personally feel like black women are at the bottom of the barrel. Like, nobody wants black women. Like,
That's
nobody
cap.
desires
That's
black
cap.
women. They basically think we're
Fabrication.
trash. And
Canard, bro.
Like, where?
Audacity.
Where are people getting this?
That's crazy.
Like,
Nobody.
I just feel bad for like people who feel this way
Word
about
up.
themselves.
Real
because there
talk.
are
I'ma come
plenty of
back.
people out there
I'ma
who
do one more.
love and
I'm gonna do the
desire
last part.
black women
I'm gonna be
specifically.
back.